We are live for Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. No fight cards in the United States this weekend because it was July 4th, Independence Day, yesterday, Friday. So for those of you fight fans, this is it. This is the only way for you to get your fix is to tune into some boxing taking place in the UK. So this card, Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank are the main event. The fight card's taking place in Manchester, and right now I'm just starting off. There's two fights before we get to the main event. The fight that's in the ring right now is Akib Fiaz versus Alex Murphy. They're fighting at lightweight. Both men just stepped into the ring, so we are waiting the ref's final instructions and then the first bell. So if you're just joining us, please do drop a comment so I can know that the comments are in fact working. Sometimes YouTube tricks me and somehow, even though I don't turn comments off, YouTube does so for me. Yeah, so if you're joining us, whether it's the first time or you're a returning viewer, welcome, and yes, please do say hi in the comments. That would be super helpful. All right, so there we go. Or here we go. The ring announcer is making the announcements. We are looking at Alex Murphy, who is 13-1. He is facing Akib Fiaz. If you're joining us, please do say hi in the comments. It would be great to know who's here. Welcome. This is a live stream. We are watching boxing. The main event is Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank. Right now, there are two fights before we get to the main event. And Akib Fiaz and Alex Murphy, two lightweights, are in the ring right now. Hello. Are you from the Soviet Union? I'm not sure if that's what you're telling me, but welcome. We're watching boxing. Box. Is that how you say it in Russian? Welcome everybody. Please do say hi in the comments so we know who's here. We're watching a live boxing fight. It's Akib Fiaz versus Alex Murphy. It's a fight taking place in the UK in Manchester. The main event will be Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. Harlem Eubank is the cousin of Chris Eubank Jr. Good to see you. Thank you. All right, here we go. First bell just rang. Both men are fighting out of orthodox stance. Murphy is definitely the taller of the two. He's got that long, lean, lanky build. Akib Fiaz, a little shorter, stockier. He seems to be fighting with a much more upright stance. Murphy with a nice jab to the body. You can tell Alex Murphy definitely has the height and reach advantage here. Hi, is it Logan? Good to see you. Hello, remember 20s, movie, somebody. Hello, how are you? I'm good. We're watching a boxing fight. The main event is going to be Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. Right now we have Alex Murphy and Akib Fiaz in the ring. I honestly don't know anything about either one of these fighters. But Alex Murphy is a long, lanky fighter. Akib Fiaz a little more compact. Hello, hello. Thank you for saying hi. Good to see you guys. That is, who do we have? Shadu and Logan and Movie Shorts Society. Right now, Murphy seems to be the guy who's using a lot more movement, both with his footwork, throwing out a lot of single jabs. Since Fiaz is the more shorter guy, he's just keeping up his high double guard and trying to work his way to the inside where he can try to land Looks like he just threw like a hard left hook. Murphy's using sort of that classic boxing style of moving around a lot. Right now he's starting to stand a little more toe-to-toe at mid-distance. Nice single jab by Murphy, nice double jab. Aqib seems to throw out these like very tentative jabs. Just got caught there on the way in with a nice body shot from Murphy. So we're coming to the close of the first round. I would say Murphy took this one. Nice level changing by Aqib Fiaz to try to get under Murphy's punches there. So Fiaz starting to flurry here right at the end of this round. Landed some nice hard shots. Alright, so movies, we're just here to talk about boxing or other combat sports, but you're welcome to stick around if that's what you're interested in. This is definitely not a dating service. So, okay, we see the corner of Alex Murphy working on a little swelling with the end swell. Can't really hear, unfortunately, we can't really hear the corner work just because the music is so loud. Who else is here? We're watching boxing right now. We have two lightweights in the ring. The fight's taking place in the UK, and the main event that I'm looking forward to is Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. I'm a real Jack Catterall fan. All right, opening of round two. Alex Murphy opens up with a nice double jab right at the bat. Fiaz starting to put a little more firepower on his punches now, but he's still throwing a lot of single jabs. Fiaz is really going to have to do a lot of feinting to try to get inside as the much shorter guy with a... Definitely looks like he has the reach disadvantage as well. So Fiaz working out of this sort of half shell guard, tries to come in with a jab to an overhand right. But in my opinion, okay, again, another jab overhand right. But once he gets in there, Murphy counters and Fiaz just shells up. Again, Murphy's starting to dance around on the outside a little bit and throw some nice jabs. Movie, I'm a boxer. You can look on my channel. I got some of my fights. Look for the purple thumbnails. Okay, good work by Fiaz. He tried triple jab to overhand right. Got himself inside and at that point just landed a nice little body shot. But Murphy's doing well to counter once Fiaz closes the distance. All right, if you're here, please say hi in the comments so we know who's joined us. We're watching some boxing that's going on in the UK. If you're an American fight fan, this is probably your only chance to get a fight fix this weekend, since no promoter is going to put on a show on July 5th in the United States of America. Okay, again, Fiaz with his jab overhand right, but his overhand right misses a little bit. He keeps throwing out his jab hand, knowing it's going to fall about a foot short of Murphy, so I'm not sure why he does that. It's not a great habit. Murphy comes right in and lands two body shots. Not something you necessarily expect from a taller guy. Okay, now we have Murphy getting a little bit cute and kind of posting with his much longer reach. I'm not so sure that the half shell guard that Fiaz is using is really serving its purpose. I mean, that does favor a taller, lankier fighter who's going to use a lean away, which I wouldn't recommend for someone who's got Fiaz's build. All right, so again, I would give that round to Murphy, even though Aqib Fiaz did pick up the pace a little bit and had a better round. All right, we have boxing analyst. Fight Holly Holm. She returned to boxing recently. Yeah, the only theory with that, the only problem with that boxing analyst is that I fight at 105 or lower. 105 is actually kind of heavy for me. I fight at 102 or even lighter. So she's not coming down to 105. Okay, but thanks for the thought. All right, there's actually weight divisions in boxing. Hopefully you are aware of that. All right, movie, no diss. Okay, used to box amateurs. That's cool. So your parents put an end to your boxing career? Well, at least you got some fights in there. That's good. Technically speaking, if you wanted to turn pro, you could, seeing as you had some amateur. I'll assume you had an amateur boxing license and so those bouts should have been registered. All right, boxing analyst. Doesn't sound, no diss, but it doesn't sound like you're much of a fight analyst. We shouldn't even be talking about weight divisions and whether they matter or not. All right, nice sharp jab by Alex Murphy. And Fiaz returns the favor. Nice sharp jab. Right now, Fiaz, I like the fact that he's using a high double guard a little bit better. We still got Murphy moving around laterally on the outside. Fiaz lands a right hand to the hip. Murphy seems to be beating him to the jab when they throw simultaneous jabs. All right, movie. Okay, yeah, maybe 48 is probably not a good time to turn pro. Got it. I understand. You're right. All right. All right, here we go again. Fiaz missing again with the sweeping overhand right. But he is starting to press forward with that double high guard. Nice right uppercut lands for Alex Murphy. Alex still, oh, nice little pivot out to the outside for Alex Murphy. But Fiaz is starting to pick the pace up a little bit and press forward, which is what he needs to do as the shorter guy. I'm glad he's now using a high double guard and not that semi-shell guard. Excuse me. However, I would say that Fiaz has to on Alex Murphy and just he needs to initiate the attacks a little more. He can't wait to try to counter Alex as Alex comes in. Stays there again. Alex rips off 2 body shots and then moves away. Oh, wonderful jab by Alex Murphy. Yes, lands a jab right to the body. But at this point, Murphy's just volume, his output rate is much higher than Fiaz's. Nice weave under by Fiaz, though. I mean, Fiaz had to know that he's fighting a much taller guy and that this is... Oh, nice right hand lands for Fiaz. But Murphy comes right back with a 3-punch combination that ends in a body shot. So again, that was a better round for Fiaz, but I believe I would give that round again to Murphy. So far we got Murphy up 3-0. For 3-0 for Murphy versus Fiaz. My thoughts on Usyk Dubois 2. Well, I will do an extended breakdown of that. So please do hit the subscription and hit the notification bell so you know when that gets posted. Yeah, we just have right here, we're not waiting, but we're watching 2 fights before we get to the main event of Jack Catterall versus Harlan Eubank. We're going into the fourth round of the fight between Alex Murphy and Aqib Fiaz. At this point, I have Murphy up by 3 rounds. And here we go. We're just starting the fourth round. All right, again, Fiaz starts off well with a couple double jabs to open up. Murphy still posting and measuring a little bit on Fiaz's head with his jab. Here's what's happening a little bit. I'm noticing that Fiaz, what he does is he'll jab, get inside, and then he just shells up while Alex Murphy lets go with his hands on the inside. But I feel like Fiaz needs to let his hand go with Murphy, not just wait for his turn. What are your thoughts on Usyk Dubois 2? What do you guys think about that fight? I think it's an intriguing matchup. Dubois has grown so much since they first met. I just think that makes it a much closer fight than it was perhaps the first time. Nice 1-2 by Alex Murphy. If he can just keep doing this, just stay on the outside and move around as a sort of the classic taller, lankier fighter, he can just keep winning rounds, as they say, keep putting rounds in the bank and walk away with the decision. He doesn't need to stop Aqib Fiaz. Fiaz, on the other hand, is going to have to do something. He's going to have to pick this up a little bit. He's going to have to punch with Murphy. Obviously, Murphy's in terrific shape, the way he's moving around the ring, and judging by his punch output. Is it Minta? Sorry, I didn't quite catch your name. Gorilla versus Lion, who wins? It's an interesting one. I mean, we'll assume they're both pretty hyped for this, but I'm gonna go with the Lion. Oh, you don't have to apologize for that. There's nothing wrong about. Well, I mean, I don't think it matters if they're female or male, but I would still go with the Lion. All right, nice little body shot there by Fiaz. Again, he's missing with that overhand right to the head, but he sneak. He's doing what he should do as a smaller guy, which is stand inside and fire off to the body. But Alex Murphy is getting off bigger volume for sure. All right, what is your opinion? Who do you think wins, Gorilla versus the Lion? Yeah, welcome to the live stream, Minnie, and please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we go live. This channel is devoted to combat sport. You can see some of my fights. They're the ones with purple thumbnails. They're on the channel, on the fight playlist. You can also hear about my pioneering efforts for women's boxing and some of the judo programs I used to run in Harlem if you look for the gold thumbnails. All right, did you guys have a great July the 4th if you're in the U.S.? Did you have a great Canada Day if you're in Canada? That was July the 1st. Okay, here we go. Decent match between two lightweights, Alex Murphy and Aqib Fiaz. This is the undercard of Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. All right, at this point, I do have Alex Murphy ahead. Fiaz has gotten better in the last couple of rounds. But I think he's gonna need a stoppage if he wants to win this fight at this point. Fight Freedom. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're watching boxing. The only place boxing is happening right now is in the UK, right? No American promoter is going to put on a card on July 5th. Not that I know of, anyways. Not one of the big promoters. All right, here we go. Akeem Fiaz and Alex Murphy starting to open up a little bit. They're standing at much closer distance now, which doesn't really favor Alex Murphy. I feel like he could just stay on the outside and continue to peck away at Akeem Fiaz and walk away with a points victory. He is still moving around quite a bit laterally. Pecking away at Akeem with his jab. I like how Murphy moves both ways. He moves both to his right and both to his left. Doesn't just go in one direction. Nice jab right hand by Alex Murphy. Right now, Fiaz is just putting up that high double guard and waiting it out. But what he needs to do is like feint and try to get inside. And what he's doing right there, which is to try to rip off a few body shots. Fight says, am I going to watch the women's card on July 11? What are my predictions? I'm not sure if I'm going to watch that, only because I'm not, I mean, maybe the main event, but I'm not hugely invested in that card. I actually don't know a lot about much of the undercard. I mean, it's cool that they are putting on a professional women's fight card. I sort of have mixed feelings about it. It's great to give all those female fighters that exposure. I wish everyone would just have women's professional fights be 3-minute rounds instead of 2. And so there's like a double-edged sword with putting on a women's only card. One, the plus is that more women get exposure, but the minus is that some people just won't tune in because they're like, oh, forget it, I'm not going to watch women's boxing. So if on the other hand it was a mostly male card and there were a few female bouts on it, there's a chance that guys who weren't intentionally going to watch a women's fight might wind up watching it. So I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but that's kind of the double-edged sword of doing a women's only fight card. How about yourself? Are you going to watch that one, Fight Freedom? Okay, we are between rounds here between Alex Murphy and Akeem Fiaz, so we're watching Jack Catterall get his hands wrapped up. Fight says, I agree with 3-minute rounds. I've seen lots of fights that would have been stoppages if they went 3 minutes. Yes, exactly. And the thing with 3-minute rounds, so you got, right now it's 2 minutes fighting, 1 minute rest. So you're not going to get somebody out of there likely in like the first minute, right? Like it's going to take you that first minute to kind of get into the round. And then if you get some damaging blows like within that sort of minute 30, then the other person just has to ride out another 30 seconds and then they get to recuperate for a minute on the stool. But like you said, if there's that an additional minute, if you can get them in trouble at about minute 30, they still got, and it's a 3-minute round now, they still got the second half of that round to go. So yes, 100% agree with you. You would get more stoppages if it was 3-minute rounds. It would also help out those of us who like to throw body shots because they kind of have that delayed effect over time. Fight Freedom says, I probably will watch all of the matches. Look really good. Okay, so we're referring to that, the women's only card on July 11th. Suzerain says, who fights? You mean right now? We are watching Alex Murphy versus Akeem Fiaz. The fight's taking place in Manchester in the UK. So that's what's up. The main event is Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. Okay, and here we are in the sixth round, scheduled for 10. Alex Murphy's continues to work the outside well. Very high volume from him. He's in great shape. Just landed a nice 1-2 right on top of Akeem Fiaz's head. Keeps shelling up and trying to sneak his punches in between. Now they're standing toe to toe. A little bit of grappling going on. One thing I appreciate about this fight, there really hasn't been a lot of holding, so both men are coming to fight. Oh, nice left hook, series of left hooks by Fiaz. And again, they fall into a clinch. So maybe Fiaz is finding a home for that left hook. In my opinion, at this point, Aqib Fiaz needs a stoppage to win this fight. I think he just let the first half of this fight slip away from him point-wise with Alex. So, a lovely 1-2 by Alex Murphy. And then he goes down to the body. Nice uppercuts. What I appreciate about Alex Murphy is the variety of punches that he throws. Now we have Fiaz trying to rip off some body shots, but Murphy's not afraid to fight inside, which is not typical of all long, lanky fighters. But again, now the men fall into a bit of a holding pattern, and the round is over. Okay, so we're now quite in the middle of the second half of this. What am I watching? I'm watching boxing in the UK. It's a matchroom boxing card. It's taking place in Manchester, and Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank is the main event. Right now we're at 2 fights below the main event, so we have the rest of this fight, 1 more fight, and then the main event. Fight Freedom says 2 minutes so short, yes, and seems to reward being inactive and waiting for the bell. Well, it favors somebody who, basically it's just like an extension of the amateurs if you're going to make it 2 minutes. So if you're someone who can whip off a lot of light punches in 2 minutes and win the round on points, like you're saying, like there's not enough time for stoppage to sink in. So it really doesn't favor the person who's more of the brawler than the boxer. It favors the boxer who doesn't necessarily have a lot of power. Okay, here we go. We are in round 7, scheduled for 10. Alex Murphy is the typical long, lanky boxer. He continues to move around the ring very well. Aqib closing the distance. Aqib Fiaz is the shorter, stockier fighter. Once he makes his way inside here, now the men are standing toe to toe. He tries a little pivot move to keep Alex on this center line. Alex circles out. It's interesting to me that Murphy doesn't seem to mind standing toe to toe, but for a little bit, and then he goes back to just boxing on the outside. Again, just whipping off these jab right hands from the outside seems to be working quite well for Alex Murphy. Then he'll switch it up and throw in an uppercut as he just did. Nice double jab by Murphy. Double jab right hand by Murphy. Jab right hand to the body, and then Fiaz fires back. Okay, nice jab right hand by Fiaz, and then he switches up to a couple left hooks. Men standing toe to toe now. Then Alex circles out a little bit, creating the distance again. Fiaz tries to work his way in, and they fall into a clinch. Hi, KC Lions. Thanks for joining us. We're watching boxing. Maybe the only boxing card this weekend, right? It's in the UK, so I don't think July the 5th is a significant day in the UK, so why not have a boxing card, right? Everybody in the USA is probably still recuperating from July the 4th, from their barbecues, and if they chose to indulge, then whatever they indulged in. All right, thank you for joining us on the live stream. We are watching boxing. If this is your first time joining us, welcome so much. If you've been here before, thanks for returning. All right. Now, less than half a minute to go here in this round of Alex Murphy versus Aqib Fiaz. And that nice long sharp jab of Alex Murphy has just been the key. Plus you could tell he's in great condition. just has this great volume of punches. Well, I would say this. I would say that if the judges decide to give this to Fiaz, they're really going to be robbing Alex Murphy. I think, even though he may not be the favored fighter in this case, I feel like he's won this fight on volume, if only on volume. At this point, Fiaz needs a stoppage to get a W. Right now, the commentator at ringside is I think Carl Frampton. Not sure if he agrees with me or not, but it's not often that you see a long, lanky fighter who's good on the outside. It's not often that they also are willing to fight on the inside, but Alex Murphy is one of those exceptions, and he's super comfortable on the inside as well. So Mayor Joshi, hi, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. We're watching boxing in the UK. All right, here we go. We are in round 8 out of 10, scheduled for 10, and now we have Fiaz being the one that moves around. So we got a shorter squatter build in Aqib Fiaz fighting the long, lanky Alex Murphy. Oh, nice jab body shot by Murphy. It was jab, body shot, left body. Oh, sorry, jab, right hand, body shot, left hook. Kind of a bread and butter combination. You got Fiaz going jab right to the body and then trying to stick with the body. Oh, nice double body shot by Alex Murphy on the inside. Now we got Fiaz being the one that's trying to move around a little bit. Not sure why Fiaz has changed his approach here. Initially, he was just staying on the outside a little bit. Then he started pressing forward, but now I'm not sure what his strategy is to move around, bobbing and weaving on the inside, and he's moving backwards, so can't quite figure out what his strategy is here. Okay, now when he closes distance, he starts to hold. That's not going to get him what he needs in this fight, which is a stoppage. So he needs to pick up the volume. I don't think he's going to get the stoppage versus Alex Murphy. Alex is in terrific condition. Nice jab, right hand, left body shot. Right back to the double jab. I mean, Alex basically is taking this fight on his jab, right hand alone. To his credit, Fiaz is landing some decent shots, but it's just not enough. Oh, beautiful right uppercut by Fiaz. Oh, and his left hook is just landed. Looks like he might be starting to find a home for that left hook, but there's just a few seconds left in this round. About half a minute. Oh, another right uppercut by Fiaz. And the men are standing toe-to-toe, which doesn't really favor Alex Murphy. But he's comfortable fighting inside. It's odd enough to me that Fiaz, who would want to be inside, is the one that's initiating the holding on the inside. And that's the round. Good round. Better round for Fiaz again. At this point, I still feel like Alex Murphy is ahead. Okay, so now we're cutting to the change room of Harlem Eubank. And none other than Connor Benn is hanging around. Not sure if he's just there to wish him well. Cheers, you guys. Another one of my favorites. Hop water. There's a couple different hop waters out there, but I like this one the best. Some of the other hop waters taste way too hoppy for me, so I like the taste of this one. This one is the grape. Oh no, sorry, it's blood orange. Tastes good. Has a nice flavor. Doesn't taste like that fake beer stuff. All right, here we go. I think we're in round 9. Or round 9 of 10. Yes. Okay, so we're in the second last round. Again, the longer, lankier Alex Murphy opens up with his nice long jabs. The shorter Aqib Fiaz, double guard, tries to work his way inside. He has just done that and wisely goes to the body. And that clinch was initiated by Alex Murphy. The men are exchanging single jabs here at mid-range, and Aqib comes right in for the body shots. On the outside, Aqib is landing the jab overhand right. Right, Murphy kind of posting a little bit on Aqib, then he comes in with the right uppercut. Once he closes distance, Fiaz starts doing the right thing, landing body shots, a little short right uppercut. I think Murphy just needs to do what he's doing right there, which is to continue to move around and peck away at Fiaz with that jab. How are you, Jacob? We're here to talk about boxing. We're watching a live boxing fight. Lambden X, Top Dog 37. Not sure is that what you're referring to there, but are you asking a question or? Oh, sorry guys, my stream just froze up for a second. Hopefully I can get this back. One moment, please. Sorry for this delay in the action, guys. This is what happens with live streams sometimes, or my stream, at least. Every now and again it'll freeze up. What are you guys' thoughts on Usyk Dubois, the rematch? Are you guys going to tune in for that one? It is the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, right? So I would have thought it would have gotten a little more traction than it seems to be getting, but alright, I apologize for the delay, you guys. I don't know what's going on with my stream. Did you guys have a good July the 4th? I went to a barbecue with some friends. We hung out by the pool, but overall, yeah, it was super fun. Great fireworks. Posting a little clip of some fireworks on my as a short on the channel, so you can check that out. But yeah, tell me how your July the 4th was. All right, again, I apologize. My live stream here of the boxing has frozen on me, so I'm trying to get that back. What fights are you guys looking forward to? Are you guys going to tune in for Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Are you guys going to tune in for Usyk Dubois 2? Tell me your thoughts on those fights. Again, I apologize for the delay here. Sometimes this is the issue with a stream. It just freezes up. So we are working to get this back. If you're here in the live stream, thank you so much for joining us. My lives are always during a fight. It's like just a live watch along. And today, the only place that there's boxing is in the UK. So the main event on this card is Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank. Right now, we're still a couple fights away from that main event. Hi. Down syndrome. What does it say? Down syndrome Jesus? Okay, that's an interesting username. Did I eat your dog? No, I did not eat your dog. We're here just to discuss combat sport. I'll assume you're trying to be funny, but it's not cool. I do wish YouTube would do a better job of vetting people making inappropriate comments on live stream, but they haven't figured that out yet. They also haven't figured out what comments are pejorative towards Asians. Let's put it that way. Like asking me if I ate his dog is obviously an anti-Asian comment, but YouTube hasn't figured that out yet. All right, guys. So I am gonna close this live right now. I'm gonna try to get the stream back, and I'll restart the stream as soon as I'm able to get the stream back. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. Please click the bell so you know that when we go live. Like I said, in a couple, hopefully I'll be back as soon as I can get this stream up in a few minutes. It'll just be like part 2 of the same thing. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next one.